What if I told you one of the most disturbing horror games of the past decade is only 15 minutes long and barely even makes sense at first? This is milk inside a bag of milk inside a bag of milk. And it's not just a game, it's a descent into someone else's trauma.
But the experience is anything but funny. In this video, we're going to break down what this bizarre title actually is, the ARG-like nature of its storytelling, and why it feels more like a personal cry for help than a traditional horror game. Buckle up, because we're about to take a trip inside a broken mind. Milk Inside a Bag of Milk is a short indie visual novel created by a Russian developer named Nikita Krykov. On the surface, the premise is incredibly simple. A schoolgirl goes to the store to buy a bag of milk. That's it. But from the moment the game starts, you realize this isn't about milk. It's about what's going on inside her head, and it's not pretty. You, the player, are not her. You're a voice inside her mind. Maybe a helpful guide. Maybe one of the voices that keeps her up at night. It's never fully explained, and that's what makes it disturbing. The girl speaks in fragmented sentences, constantly interrupting herself, battling between dark thoughts and attempts at normality. She stumbles over every interaction. Her world is small, red, warped, and suffocating, and you're stuck in it with her. Visually, the game is haunting in a minimalist way. The entire screen is tinted blood red, filled with jagged shapes, warped hallways, and figures that sometimes appear distorted beyond recognition. Backgrounds flicker, faces twist. There's never a clear image, only suggestions like a dream you're forgetting in real time. This glitchcore aesthetic matches the protagonist's fractured perception of reality. The sound design is just as unnerving. No music. Just distant ambient noise and keystrokes. Every line of text arrives with a click, like you're tapping into her thoughts in real time. The silence isn't peaceful, it's oppressive. And because the dialogue is intentionally broken and jarring, you're never allowed to settle in or feel safe. This isn't a story you watch, it's one you feel through tension.
While the game doesn't advertise itself as an ARG, fans have treated it like one. Hidden within its strange title and ambiguous dialogue are clues. Not to a mystery, but to a broken reality. Some players believe the repetitive title symbolizes a trauma loop, where the protagonist is endlessly reliving the same disturbing experience, disguised under something mundane like buying milk. Each bag of milk could represent another attempt at normalcy, crushed by internal chaos. There are also subtle visuals that hint at deeper horrors. Shadowy figures behind windows, faces stretched across shelves, and dialogue that flips between innocence and terror. Players have tried to decode these as if they were puzzles. Who hurt her? Why is she so afraid of the cashier? What happened at home? The truth is, the answers are never given, only implied through symbols and emotions. And that's what makes it feel like an ARG. It begs you to dig deeper into something that might not have a solution. Due to the game's overwhelming reception, a sequel was released. Milk Outside a Bag of Milk Outside a Bag of Milk. This one expands the gameplay, offers fully voiced inner thoughts, and explores the girl's mental health more directly. It's just as disturbing, maybe even more, because it doesn't try to be shocking. It just is. Fans have described the sequel as uncomfortably relatable, particularly for those who've experienced depression, anxiety, or derealization. Over time, Milk gained a cult following, especially on TikTok and Reddit, where users dissect its meaning and share theories. It's even been described as visual horror therapy, a broken mirror held up to players. The game doesn't offer you a monster to fight. Instead, it offers a person to understand, and you might not like what you see. I wanted you to experience the atmosphere for yourselves and truly listen to the music and background. Without the background noise, several video games in the horror genre featured the typical slasher horror, jump scares, or something similar. However, games like Outside of the Milk create internal dread. This means you'll be thinking about your actions and yourself long after the credits have rolled and you've set down the controller. So I get why this game has a cult following. What starts as a simple errand spirals into a descent through trauma, anxiety, and isolation. You don't just watch the story, you feel it. The oppressive red visuals, the flickering distortion, the dead silence between each breath. It all becomes a reflection of her unstable mind. And maybe, a reflection of your own. This game doesn't ask for sympathy. It doesn't even ask for understanding. It simply exists, raw, uncomfortable, and real. If this video resonated with you or if the game left you thinking long after it ended, tell me what stuck with you the most in the comments below. Let's open up that conversation about mental health, about storytelling, and about the strange games that dare to do both. And if you enjoyed diving into this kind of psychological storytelling, hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next video I'm working on. I dive deep into games that challenge the way we think, feel, and play.